What does it take to become a national sweetheart? Is it something you can learn, a skill you can practice? Or are some people just born with it? When you're born a princess, the job description is pretty much written for you from the moment you take your first breath. For Princess Charlotte, who just turned 10, she's not just fulfilling the role, she's rewriting it. For the last decade, we've watched this tiny royal navigate a life that's anything but normal. And in the process, she's managed to capture the hearts of, well, pretty much everyone. So how did she do it? Let's look back at the moments that prove why she's the undisputed queen of the royal kids' table. A masterclass in royal sass. Every royal is expected to maintain a certain level of decorum. It's all about polite smiles, gentle waves, and never ever letting the mask slip. It's a tradition of stoicism that the late Queen Elizabeth II perfected over her 70-year reign. But every so often, a royal comes along who can't help but let their true personality shine through, and those are the ones we truly fall in love with. For all her regal confidence, Charlotte has also given us some of the most refreshingly cheeky and sassy moments in recent royal history. The most legendary of these, of course, took place at the King's Cup Regatta. It was a big day for her parents, who were competing against each other on multi-million-pound yachts for charity. The atmosphere was one of friendly, yet intense, competition. After the race, Kate, ever the doting mother, brought George and Charlotte to a window to wave to the crowds below. But Charlotte had a different idea. Instead of a polite wave, she decided to stick her tongue out at the whole world. What made the moment even more perfect was her mother's reaction. Kate went through a lightning-fast series of emotions. Gentle encouragement, followed by a flicker of confusion, then sheer, unadulterated parental mortification as she realized what was happening. She leaned in, whispered to Charlotte, and tried to laugh it off, but it was too late. The photo was instantly iconic. But here's the best part. Deep dive research reveals she wasn't just sticking her tongue out at the public, but specifically at her grandfather, Michael Middleton, who was standing in the crowd below. It transformed from a moment of random cheekiness into a classic, "I'm telling on you to Grandpa" family joke played out on a global stage. In that one gesture, she reminded everyone that behind the palace walls and billion-dollar brand of the monarchy, they are just a family. A very, very rich and famous family, but a family nonetheless. It was a hilarious, relatable, and utterly endearing breach of protocol. From diplomatic tours to balloon animals. The life of a royal child is a study in surreal contrasts. One day, you're a key part of a diplomatic charm offensive in a foreign country, and the next, you're just a kid who's losing her mind over some bubbles. No one has embodied this strange duality quite like Charlotte. During the family's official royal tour of Canada, the world got to see this in action. The Canadian government, in a brilliant move of soft diplomacy, threw a children's party for George and Charlotte at Government House in Victoria. This wasn't your average backyard party with a few sad-looking streamers. This was a full-blown extravaganza, complete with a petting zoo, balloon artists, and puppeteers. And little Charlotte, then just a toddler, was absolutely in her element. While George seemed a little more hesitant, Charlotte made a beeline for the action. She was seen gleefully hugging a giant balloon arch, bouncing on a dog named Moose, and seeming utterly captivated by the simple magic of bubbles. It was a pure, unadulterated moment of childhood joy. Her first word spoken in public was reportedly "pop," as she pointed at the balloons. This was the same girl who, just days earlier, had been seen politely shaking hands and accepting bouquets on airport tarmacs. Most kids get a party at Chuck E. Cheese. The Wales children get a state-sponsored event hosted by the Governor-General. It's a level of privilege that's almost impossible to comprehend. And yet, what made the moment so heartwarming was that none of that mattered to Charlotte. The petting zoo, the balloons, the bubbles, these are universal joys of childhood. For a few hours, she wasn't a princess on a diplomatic mission. She was just a little girl having the time of her life, a reminder that the wonders of childhood can, for a moment, eclipse even the grandest of circumstances. The Wimbledon protégé. There are certain events that are pinnacles of the British social calendar, and Wimbledon is right at the top of that list. It's a place of history, tradition, and very expensive strawberries and cream. Attending for the first time is a rite of passage, and for a royal, it's also a public debut of sorts. When Charlotte made her first appearance at the iconic tennis tournament, she proved she was more than ready for the spotlight, showing impressive composure during the long meet-and-greet session. Sitting in the royal box, a space so exclusive that its attendees are personally invited by the chairman of the All England Club, Charlotte looked completely at home. Dressed in a chic little summer dress and sporting some very cool sunglasses, she was the picture of a seasoned pro. She wasn't just there as a passive observer, she was invested. She was seen gasping, cheering, and covering her face with her hands during tense moments of the match, mirroring the reactions of the most passionate tennis fans around her. Her interactions were just as charming. The entire appearance was a masterclass in how to do a high-profile public event. She was engaged, she was expressive, and she was utterly charming. It showcased her ability to handle the formal pressures of a royal engagement while still letting her genuine personality shine through. While the rest of us might dream of getting tickets, Charlotte's first experience was from the best seats in the house. A casual family outing that was also a subtle part of her ongoing royal training. Composing a future queen. Not many children get the opportunity to conduct a full orchestra. For most kids, their musical education involves struggling through hot cross buns on a recorder. But for Charlotte, it was just another day at the office. During a visit, she and Prince George were given the chance to lead the band of the Welsh Guards. What followed was another one of those perfect moments that beautifully illustrated the difference in their personalities. Prince George, ever the cautious future king, took the baton and gave a few tentative waves. He was sweet, a little shy, and seemed slightly overwhelmed by the wall of sound he was controlling. Then, it was Charlotte's turn. She grabbed the baton with the gusto of a seasoned maestro, a look of intense concentration on her face. She didn't just wave it around, she conducted. With enthusiastic, energetic movements, she led the orchestra with a flair that suggested she might have a future at the Royal Albert Hall. It was a small moment, but it spoke volumes. It was another flash of that innate confidence, that lack of inhibition that makes her so captivating to watch. She wasn't intimidated by the dozens of professional musicians looking to her for a cue. She saw an opportunity for fun and seized it with both hands. It's part of the unique and, frankly, ridiculously privileged education that these children receive. It's an education that goes far beyond textbooks, providing them with experiences designed to build confidence and prepare them for a life of public duty. While most of us were learning our multiplication tables, Charlotte was honing her skills as a conductor and looking absolutely adorable while doing it. An athlete in a tiara. For all the talk of formal events and royal duties, one of the most relatable things about Princess Charlotte is her boundless energy and love for sports. In a family of keen athletes, she seems to be one of the most enthusiastic. Her mother, Kate, once revealed that Charlotte's favorite sport is gymnastics. She spends most of her time upside down, Kate said, doing handstands and cartwheels. This image of a little princess constantly tumbling around the halls of a palace is just delightful. It shatters the stuffy, old-fashioned image of royalty and replaces it with one that is vibrant, modern, and active. We've seen this sporty side of her on other occasions too. She's been spotted having a kickabout with a football in a park, showing off some impressive skills for her age. She's a keen swimmer and is reportedly quite competitive with her brothers. This isn't just a fun fact, it speaks to the way William and Kate are raising their children. They are encouraging them to be active, to be competitive, and to find their own passions outside the rigid confines of royal life. Of course, wealth and privilege are ever present. If Charlotte seriously pursues gymnastics, she'll have access to the best coaches and facilities in the world, an Olympic-level head start. But the passion itself is universal. That love of running, jumping, and tumbling is something every parent can recognize. It makes her feel less like a distant figurehead and more like the sporty kid down the street, grounding her in a way that formal titles and tiaras never could. It seems like she was born a day ago, but Princess Charlotte has already given us a decade of unforgettable moments. She's the perfect blend of royal poise and childhood cheekiness, of diplomatic grace and a love for getting her hands dirty. She's the boss baby who tells photographers where to go, the sassy kid who sticks her tongue out at her grandpa, and the future leader who isn't afraid to take up the baton. She's navigating an extraordinary life with a spirit and confidence that's all her own, and that's why she's earned her place as a true national sweetheart. What do you guys think? What's your favorite royal moment? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more deep dives into the lives of our favorite celebs. See you next time.